In today's video, we're going to be examining The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time through the eyes of a newcomer. That newcomer is my girlfriend Ellie, who's never played it before. She's going to have 5 hours to make it as far as she can. She's already played 5 hours in the previous episode, so we're going to pick up exactly where she left off. Let's jump back in and see how she did. We're back for another fun session of Ocarina of Time.
What was I doing?
Here we were back again, right at the entrance of Dodongo's cavern. This is the game's second dungeon and presents a vastly different environment than the inside of the Deku Tree. It's less vertical in nature, instead focused around this vast center room, which contains a number of different secrets. Ellie took off and began exploring. She quickly learned that the lava around this center platform isn't somewhere you want to stand.
What's that about? Oh, that was killer timing! Whoa!
Very impressive.
Ellie discovered that there were bomb flowers on either side of the room that she began using to kill these Beamoses. She had the right idea, the bombs are vital for progression here, but could she figure out how she needed to use them?
I'm sick of this analog stick. I need you to duct tape it. Please, please.
Ellie was under the assumption that she needed to blow up all 3 Beamoses in this room. It's a sensible assumption, as she saw this barred door and likely assumed that it would open once all 3 of them were dead. The 2 on either side weren't an issue, but the center Beamos was harder to reach while holding a bomb. The actual solution here is to use the bombs on these rocky sections of the wall, which are actually doorways.
All right, let's just do a mental reset here. Let's just really, look around this room and see what you observe.
I feel like I'm doing this right. It's just hard to get the timing.
Now, notice how when I suggested a mental reset, Ellie immediately assumed I was talking about a new approach to killing this Beamos. She was completely locked into the notion that this was the way forward. I continued prompting her to really walk back to square one.
So you feel like this is a door?
Like a brick wall door that'll raise open.
Okay.
I mean, I could throw something at it, but...
Okay.
Blow up. Oh. They look like walls that can be blown up. I just didn't know that they could at that point. Like, I think something about the textures and the layout and the way camera movements work in the game just confused me and make me not inclined to try something.
We got the dungeon map and finally cracked the code of this room. Ellie blew up the other doors until she found the path forward. We made it into the next room, which contained some baby Dodongos. These guys burrow underground and approach Link quickly, making them pretty dangerous. They don't take many hits to kill, but once they're dead, their carcass explodes, which is kind of strange.
What the hell? Oh, this room is overstimulating to me.
She made it past them on the next run, but was stopped by this blue button that only seemed to stay pushed when it was actively being weighed down. Ellie quickly got the picture and depressed it with this nearby statue. There is no question as we were progressing that she was really struggling with controlling Link, particularly in high pressure scenarios. It had been over a week since she'd played the game, so she was a bit out of practice, but I think it also speaks to the old school control scheme. It was just tying her fingers in knots, especially when dealing with multiple enemies at once.
I find the controls to still be wildly confusing. I don't really know if I'm ever going to get them down. I think going to other games that are more modern in between, that's just, I always switch back to that habitual way of using a controller. So I will be doing the right thing that I've ingrained into my memory to do, and it's opening up the wrong thing, like I'm opening up a bomb. That can be frustrating because that just feels finicky. Oh shoot. What the hell is that? What the hell is that?
Well, here's a perfect chance to sharpen her skills. Starting with Dodongo's cavern, Link begins encountering dungeon mini-bosses. These Lizalfoses would be our first. They're very aggressive, but thankfully only attack one at a time. Ellie was equally aggressive and honestly made them look easy. This next room contained these normal-sized Dodongos and a bunch of unlit torches. Ellie knew the drill on this one, so she lit them all without even having to fight anybody. We were led back to the main room where a button press unlocked this door on the room's other side. I want to take a quick second here to highlight a brilliant design choice. When Ellie unlocked this door, the game showed us which door was unlocked and then pulled the camera back to Link from the door. This shows us where we are in relation to the door. I can't count how many times I've unlocked a door in a game only to realize that I can't find it because I wasn't shown my relative location. If we've got any devs watching this video, please incorporate this into your games. Thank you.
Boom. Get out the way. Get out the way, bitch. Get out the way.
This next room contained a bunch of bomb flowers around this big structure. After some experimentation and a hint from Navi, Ellie realized that setting a bomb down in the center of the rows would cause them all to blow up at the same time, providing us with a new path forward. In the next room, Ellie lost her shield since it caught on fire, but regardless, we kept pushing onward, slowly making headway. We once again emerged in the center room, this time on the upper floor. Please, don't fall. Oh, okay, thank you. After navigating some spiky death traps, we were tasked with blowing up this wall, which takes some skilled bomb throwing.
Oh, there you go.
I got stuck behind the ladder.
Nicely done.
Soon after this, it was time for another round of Lizalfoses. A bit further on, it was item time.
Oh, awesome.
With bombs acquired, Ellie would no longer have to worry about finding bomb flowers. She could bust out a bomb anytime, anywhere. She emerged back into the main room once again and pushed this button that caused this platform to raise all the way up to the second floor. Now she could move between the first and second floors with ease. She also found this message that seemed to provide a hint to solving the next puzzle. Since the platform was moving, Ellie decided to attempt jumping on it, but didn't quite make it.
I can't stand that beeping. I can't think straight. I need to start over. I cannot find hearts. It's
Understandable.
killing me.
Understandable.
That is like, actually, I could write a dissertation on how that beeping is the most obscene thing they've ever chosen to do in this game.
Back up top, Ellie ran across this other bridge and found a replacement Deku shield.
Read that out loud.
It's a giant dead Dodongo.
Read it the whole thing out loud.
Giant dead Dodongo. When it sees red, a new way to go will be open. Is this the giant dead Dodongo?
Somehow, we needed to figure out how to open this guy's mouth. It appeared that making him see red was the key, but how do we go about doing this? Ellie attempted to jump onto the skull from the platform, but the jump was too far to make. She next began attempting to throw bombs from the platform. At this point, she had the right idea, but I realized we had a problem. Because she had just activated this platform, Ellie believed that it was important to solving the puzzle. In actuality, she needed to come back over this bridge and drop bombs from there.
Alright, so it would appear the bomb that you're throwing is not reaching that head.
It seemed to be reaching it from me. It just doesn't do anything. See, it definitely won't reach him from here.
From where?
This floor.
What do you mean?
I'm not nearly as close to him. If I'm on that platform, I'm closer to it.
What happens when you walk over that bridge right there?
There's a hole. I'm fearful that this still won't work. Yeah. Oh.
We headed into the newly opened mouth and further into the dungeon. She circled around until she ended up at a block that could be pushed down into this lower level. Ellie pushed it all the way into the center of the room, where it weighed down a button that unlocked a nearby door. She bombed this conspicuous spot in the next room, which led Link a long way down right into the lair of our next boss, King Dodongo.
Oh no. This is what a boss looks like? This is bad. This is way more intense than that last boss. This is not normal. Oh no, no.
No more babies, it was time for the king. Dodongo isn't too hard, but is initially overwhelming. He rolls around the battlefield, which can be tricky to avoid. Additionally, he can breathe fire, which also covers a wide area of effect. It's a lot to take in, and Ellie was feeling understandably flustered. That being said, she immediately had the right idea, likely thanks to her time with Zelda 1. She needed to toss a bomb right into his mouth. Of course, that's easier said than done.
My timing was off, Bobo. What the hell? Am I wrong about that?
Ellie was tossing here, there, and over yonder, but none of the bombs were actually going where they were supposed to. This was causing her to think that throwing bombs wasn't the correct thing to be doing. In actuality, the bombs just weren't getting close enough to his mouth, but she didn't realize this. We've seen Ellie think that an incorrect solution is correct, but vice versa can be even trickier to deal with. If you think the solution doesn't work, eventually you're gonna stop trying it. I guess ultimately, some situations like this just force the player to keep messing around until they figure it out.
Okay. Okay. Should I be hitting him? Or something? Okay, too late.
Ellie got it right there, but didn't follow up with an attack. Hopefully she'll do that next time. Still, at least she knew that she was on the right track. The key here is to make sure the bomb is thrown while Dodongo is inhaling to perform his fire attack.
I know I can do it.
That is the attitude I like to hear. Never before has she exuded such confidence in this entire series. This is the first time you've ever said that. Wow.
But I know I can. In the Take that out. Cut that out.
There we go. She could do this. All she had to do now was rinse and repeat. At this point, she clearly had a feel for the fight, so it was just a matter of outlasting Dodongo. With only 1/4 of a heart left, it was gonna be a close one.
Ooh. He's making me angry. Is he really dead? I don't believe it's done. That was kind of sad. I don't like a creature dying. Oh, this nice over-the-shoulder shot. Whoa.
There we go, baby. Ellie clenched it out and sent Dodongo into a grave of lava.
I was fairly impressed with how I did with the boss fight. I figured out what I needed to do really quickly. It felt really obvious that I needed to throw bombs in his mouth. Figuring out the timing of that and getting close, and that targeting wasn't just putting them in his mouth were what was hard, but by the time I figured out what I was supposed to be doing there, I feel like I did fairly well for me. I didn't expect to beat it that quickly. I thought there would be a second phase after that one.
Back outside, Darunia kind of assaulted us, but that's okay, as he also gave us our next spiritual stone, the Goron's Ruby. After some attempted Goron hugs, we were back on Death Mountain, advised to ascend higher to see a great fairy. Unfortunately, the only way to get up there involved blowing up some rocks, but we'd run out of bombs. Ellie headed back to Goron City to snack some more, and after doing so, stumbled onto this room with a lot of rocks. Only the brown ones could be blown up, turning this into a maze of sorts.
Well, that's convenient.
Oh, very nice, very fancy.
It's a big rupee.
With rupees acquired and Skulltula slain, it was time to head back out.
That was so romantic.
Ellie headed up Death Mountain to commune with the Great Fairy, but the path was still blocked with these boulders.
Wow, first try.
Oh!
First try.
I can't believe I did that on my first try.
It really doesn't take very long to reach the top of the mountain, but there is some danger in the form of these falling boulders. Thankfully, Link's Hylian shield enables him to enter turtle mode, which protects him from taking any damage. After making it past, Ellie sniped some Skulltulas on her way up this wall. Not a perfect ascent, but an ascent nonetheless. After some poking around, we found the Great Fairy's fountain.
That's not what I expected, and I don't really like her, but okay.
Yeah, the Great Fairies in this game are kind of, I don't know. Unsettling as she may be, you gotta love her, as she gifted us with a new powerful spin attack. It enables Link to charge up his spin and attack a wider area around him. Pretty handy. The magic consumed to perform it is finite, but it's not hard to find more. Back outside, Kaepora delivered us back down to Kakariko Village. After chasing around the cuckoos for a little while, Ellie headed back out to Hyrule Field. She hadn't received a ton of guidance about what to specifically do next, but the Great Fairy did mention a fellow fairy somewhere around Hyrule Castle, so Ellie decided to search around there. With no luck, she headed back to Lon Lon Ranch, where she killed a gold Skulltula and even found a piece of a heart. Back out in Hyrule, Ellie just started running around to see what else she could find, one of the joys of Zelda.
I'm enjoying the structure of the game overall. I think I just wasn't expecting it. So now that I know that things won't be spoon-fed to me or it won't feel traditionally linear and you do this, then you get told to do this, I think that I do like it and I enjoy how it feels kind of free but not all at the same time. Not overwhelmingly free, not like an open world.
Eventually, Navi suggested that we talk to Saria about what to do next, so we headed all the way back to the Lost Woods.
Oh,
you
just
forgot
gotta play
that
the
too?
song.
Well, I don't feel dumb that I forgot that, but to be fair, if you told me that a long time ago, I haven't played in a bit.
Oh yeah, kind of forgot about that. Turns out we should have just beckoned her with the song. Oh well, at least we got to see her sweet green hair. Ellie played Saria's song, and she told us that the next spiritual stone had something to do with water and the Zoras. A little vague, but at least we had something to go on. We headed back out to Hyrule Field, where Ellie began examining bodies of water to see what they might contain. Eventually, her search led to Zora River, where we once again communed with Kaepora. After bombing these rocks, Ellie quickly arrived at an impasse. The path was blocked with this gate, but the river's current was too strong to swim against, so jumping in would just take us back to the beginning of the area. We had a conundrum. Ellie bought some magic beans and planted them, but that wasn't working either.
What do you notice about the ground where you just walked over?
I don't know, there's just random patches.
It looks very worn.
Oh, so does that mean like I can go there? It's like a trail kind of?
Well, it's just kind of a visually distinct that might be of interest.
There we go. With that obstacle overcome, she headed further up the river until she arrived at a waterfall. A little Zelda's lullaby parted the water, leading us into the one and only Zora's domain. This aquatic zone is home to the Zoras, a water-dwelling race that really knows how to swim. This next section before reaching dungeon number 3 can be a little confusing, so I was curious to see how Ellie would jive with it. She was told about Lord Jabu Jabu, and as we all know, anytime text is a color other than white, it's probably really important. Ellie headed up top and decided to try this diving game.
Dive. Link, you are slow as fuck. Oh, come on.
You're good.
Am I?
Oh. Well done, well done.
As a reward, Ellie received the Silver Scale, which allows Link to hold his breath for twice as long as he could previously.
Okay,
Nice.
let me get out of her booty and into this water.
Oh my god, I was curious if he was gonna get hurt there. Jesus.
Yikes.
Wow.
That was tough.
We next spoke to King Zora, who doesn't really speak much at all, as he's too worried about his daughter, Princess Ruto. Where could she be? Eventually, Ellie dived down into this hole, only accessible now that she had the Silver Scale. It led us to Lake Hylia. This area is accessible from Hyrule Field, but Ellie hadn't found it yet. It's a pretty huge space that holds plenty to do, but right now, we needed to find one particular item. We looked around for a little while, finding nothing of interest other than another gold Skulltula, but eventually something caught Ellie's eye at the bottom of the lake.
Yay, an empty bottle.
This bottle contains a note from Princess Ruto declaring that she's stuck inside Lord Jabu Jabu, but not to tell her father. If I'm ever stuck in a giant fish, please tell my dad. Link showed the newfound letter to the king, who granted us access to Zora's fountain.
Oh. Okay. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Thank you, King. Thank you.
Outside, we met the silent, the stoic Lord Jabu Jabu. What a guy. Clearly, he was related to our next task, but he didn't seem interested in moving even when shot in the eye with the slingshot. Azora had mentioned that Princess Ruto feeds the Lord, so Ellie started thinking about what she could potentially do to trigger his appetite. She went back to the school of fish and after some gentle nudging to examine her entire available tool set, realized that she could capture one of them with her newly acquired empty bottle. Time to feed.
Oh my gosh. That is scary. Jump in, Link. He got sucked in. That's weird.
That he did.
This is like that episode of Magic School Bus where you fly inside the human body that's sick.
Now, we were inside Jabu Jabu's belly, the game's third dungeon. That makes 2 dungeons so far where we've been inside a giant sentient being. Very interesting. Ellie was stumped for a bit on this initial puzzle that appears to require shooting the Lord's uvula. Not a sentence I ever thought that I would say. Eventually, she figured it out and pushed further in. More than the preceding dungeons, Jabu Jabu features very tight, long corridors, which makes sense given that we're, walking around intestines.
Is this a dungeon? But it's a stomach.
Correct.
I think initially I thought that dungeon was going to be pretty cool, like a Magic School Bus episode, and it felt like a new, fun environment to be inside of a being. That felt different. I feel like this game is really stretching the definition of a dungeon. I was optimistic that it would be interesting. I didn't expect to get as angry with it as I did.
Deeper inside, we found none other than Princess Ruto, who seems less than happy to see us. She appears to be looking for the Zora's stone, but doesn't seem to trust us. After enough chatter, she decides to give us the honor of carrying her. Okay. Believe it or not, Ruto's sedentary body is actually paramount for solving some of the dungeon's puzzles. Before we can worry about any of that though, we needed to get her past this pit. The problem is that the only way for us to get across is to raise the water level, but when Ellie raised it, Ruto disappeared and spawned back at the point where we found her. Ellie needed to throw her up to the other side before raising the water, but she didn't realize that she could do that.
Well, how am I gonna get her across?
I don't know. How might you get her across?
I have no idea. I don't know what to do.
Ellie sensibly tried to take Ruto back outside, but that won't work, so she had to do all of that all over again. Back in possession of Ruto, Ellie carried her to a new area of the dungeon that contained these weird tentacles that were blocking a lot of the doors. Eventually, we found our way into a room with these stingers that all needed to be killed. Ellie continued having issues with targeting when fighting groups of enemies, but eventually killed them all and got the trusty boomerang as a reward. With this dungeon's item acquired, the possibilities were wide open. Now that she had the boomerang, Ellie could fight these tentacle enemies. Killing one also clears the corresponding electric tentacle somewhere else in the dungeon. Slowly but surely, she was able to access these rooms that all contained some combination of enemies.
Let's just redo this. It's the camera is the problem over and over.
I know, but it just takes practice.
The camera in conjunction with combat was continuing to frustrate her deeply, but she was still making headway regardless. Eventually, Ellie destroyed another tentacle, but instead of unblocking a door, this one provided access to one of these holes in this larger room where we originally found Princess Ruto. The hole allows us to drop down onto a platform that was previously inaccessible due to how high it is. This led to a room with the stone, and subsequently, Jabu Jabu's mini-boss, Big Octo.
The heck is this? Yay, more running. I love to run.
Ellie's first attempt mostly consisted of trying to figure out how this guy works, which can be a little confusing. The fight takes place in this circular room, which Octo continuously runs around. In order to damage him, Link needs to use the boomerang to stun him first. The catch is Octo can't be damaged from the front, only the back. This wouldn't be a big deal if not for the room structure, which forces you to run all the way around to get behind them.
That is the first time, and it's because I got hit in advance. I can't do that every time because I'll get hit and I'll die. I don't have enough life.
Ellie managed to connect here, but she'd need to do it multiple times in order to win. I'd say this fight is one of the toughest that the player faces up until this point. Octo is so fast that he's difficult to catch up with. Making things harder was the fact that Ellie was struggling to target him, leading to a lot of aimless boomerang throws.
You don't even want me to do an interview right now because I'm just gonna have haters because I'm gonna be pissed at this part.
We'll save the interview for another day.
I'm angry right now.
Well, that's all
I'm
right.
feeling
That's okay.
frustrated.
Ellie was really pissed, understandably so, but she was getting better at stunning him. If she would just start targeting him, she'd be home free.
There we go. There we go. Well done.
That was
well
comparable
done.
to some Dark Souls fights for me.
Ooh.
Anger-wise. I'm angry. Where do I even go now? Thank you. Take me up. Beam me up, Scotty. I'm done with this stomach. Get me out.
What's so interesting about this fight is that as much as Ellie was struggling with it, once she got into the proper rhythm, she made it look easy. This was the first attempt that she began targeting consistently, which immediately led to victory, and I'd bet money that if she had to do the same fight again, she'd beat him 2 times in a row.
That fight was so frustrating. It felt like that shows the age of the game. That room is so cramped to not have major control over the camera in a way that I'm used to. And I felt like everything I was doing seemed like a workaround and not the way you should actually do it.
After a couple of new rooms, it was time for this dungeon's actual boss fight.
What the hell is it? Oh no. I don't do well with electrocution.
It was time for Baronade. This fight is pretty chaotic and relies heavily on using the boomerang. The first step is to sever these tentacles, which Ellie did without issue. Next was destroying these jellyfish, which again calls upon the boomerang. This took a little bit longer, but still, no big deal. After they're all gone, another set of jellyfish needs to be taken down. With all the jellyfish dead, Ellie just needed to go for Baronade proper, but it wasn't going to go down without a fight.
I'm targeting it. It's not hitting it.
You're too far away.
If I get close, I get hurt. Tommy, stop, please. Stop.
Jesus Christ.
I didn't press that.
Oh, you did. What do you do once you stun a boss?
Okay, I have.
What?
I need a heart. I'm not gonna go through this again. I refuse to do this boss fight again. I like physically can't do it again. I'm not pressing that! This has been the low point of my entire life.
Oh my God.
This has been killing me. I'm so itchy. I'm itchy all over and I'm sweaty.
Oh my.
Sorry. I couldn't do it again.
Well, you don't have to.
How were you playing this as a child? We were doing different things as children. I was playing Barbie, horseback riding, and Shrek. That final boss was frenetic and made me feel anxious and itchy and sweaty. I just felt it bounced around too much. I mean, I did it in one try, so I'm not trying to say that it's uber difficult. It's just camera angles became really difficult for me when that much electricity chaos is happening in the room and trying to figure out where to aim. It just was frenetic. It was a lot, but I did it. So hindsight, it's 2020. I'm like, that wasn't that bad because I did it.
Ellie took Baronade down and emerged back into Zora's Fountain, where Ruto decided to finally give us Zora's Sapphire. With that, we had all 3 stones and were ready to head back to Zelda. When we got there though, things weren't looking very good. Zelda is swept away by Impa, followed by Ganondorf in hot pursuit. Before she's gone though, she throws something in the water. Thankfully, Ganondorf doesn't kill Link and continues the chase. It turns out that Zelda tossed us the Ocarina of Time. After retrieving it, Ellie learned the Song of Time, which enables us to open the Door of Time. After doing so and placing the 3 stones in their proper spot, we found the Master Sword, which Ellie pulled from its resting place. Doing so appeared to empower Ganondorf and led us to the Chamber of Sages. Here we met Rauru, who shared with us a shocking revelation.
What? I'm a man now? Oh my... I lost all my childhood. All my years are gone. So we had to age me up. Oh, what? I've been here for 7 years? What? That was not consensual. They did not ask me.
That's right, Link's been in a long slumber, while Ganondorf took over Hyrule. As an adult, it's now incumbent on Link to find the other 5 sages and save the land. After teleporting back to the Temple of Time, we met Sheik, who instructed us to head to Kakariko Village to continue our journey. Before we could reach it though, we had to witness the horrors that had unfolded in our absence.
Oh my god.
Okay. Sadly, Hyrule looks very different 7 years on.
I feel like I ended this one on a high note compared to the first 5 hours because I just defeated a boss in a way that didn't feel devastating, and I got to do the whole cutscene and see what's to come, so that hooked me to want to play more. So I think I liked it more and feel more ready to play another 5 hours. The viewers are willing.
If you enjoyed this episode, you can check out our first Ocarina episode or this Ocarina of Time video essay that I recently released. If you really enjoyed this episode, you can become a channel member or patron to help us make more. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.